What's cool, y'all? So, as you may know, the Texans unfortunately lost to the Bengals 37 to 31 in a heartbreaking fashion. A fumble on the last possession, similar to the previous Colts games. And one thing about Houston sports is that they will definitely increase your blood pressure and your heart rate. But nevertheless, it's always H-Town for life. So let's start with the negatives. The negatives from this game aren't any different from the previous games, in which our defense cannot stop the run or the pass, and making quarterbacks like Brandon Allen and Jake Luton look like prime Tom Brady. Part of me wonders how much control Weaver has in creating the defensive game plan. What sucks is that I was really high on Weaver, and he said some really great things before the season, most specifically the exotic blitzes and schemes. I feel that the only game that really exhibited that was the Patriots game when with players like Justin Reed and Lonnie Johnson attacking the QB from both sides and other things like that. I just wanted to see more of that, but we never did like the rest of the season. I just hope that Weaver doesn't end up on that long list of coordinators that succeeded somewhere else. But there were some bright spots on the defense, like Keon Crossan and John Reed, who held their own against really decent receivers and great receivers at that, at T. Higgins and AJ Green at times. And in any case, they're always going to be better than Gaines or Hargraves by a mile, which doesn't make any sense to me why our defensive staff doesn't want to play our rookies more actually, and Ross Blacklock and John Grenard, and it takes injuries for main key players to go on IR for them to get their chances. So that's like one of my main concerns about the staff is that Bill O'Brien started from the season that's going to be a vet year, and the staff just went with that the whole rest of the way. So yeah, that's just one of my uh, dislikes about what our team has done throughout the whole season. I just wish our rookies got more playing time. Some positives from the game were obviously Watson playing like an efficient and consistent QB that he has during the whole season, eluding defenders with ease and making do with receivers like Kiki QT, Chad Hansen, and Brandon Cooks. And speaking of Cooks, he played a hell of a game today with 7 catches for 141 yards, putting him just 16 yards shy from a 1,000-yard season. And so even though his contract is non-guaranteed, I say we keep him because he definitely has some great chemistry with Deshaun. And when Fuller comes back, a receiving group of Fuller, Cooks, Cobb, QT, and Hansen is extremely underrated, and it's really good as Fuller has proven that he can be a wide receiver number 1 for this team. I would love for Fuller to be back for sure. And also our linebackers, Cunningham and Tyrell Adams, are doing great, making sound and clean tackles. Their tackle numbers may be a bit inflated due to our porous D line, but that's for another discussion, I guess. But Cunningham has looked a lot better ever since that Lions game, and Adams has really stepped into his role well. And this most likely does not bode well for McKinney, but who will most likely be one of the cap casualties going to be traded or cut in the offseason. But that was for the GM and head coach to decide. I just wanted to comment on Tim Kelly on this season, and I'd say he's done a pretty decent job, and an amazing one at that, since the firing of Bill O'Brien. And I feel like Watson really likes him as a offensive coordinator. But I do have some reservations, however. Ever since every time we receive the ball to start the game, it's basically a lost cause. I've seen the statistic that the Texans have scored one of the least amount of points on opening drives, and so slow starts have really been the demise of the Texans offense when it should be like the one drive that's actually scripted. Anyway, so realistically, it's better to clean house for the new head coach and GM to choose their own coaches. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kelly in some coaching capacity, but not as the offensive coordinator. What's unfortunate about this season is that the year we have an abysmal record, a losing record, we have no first or second round draft pick to show for it. I want y'all to type in the comments if you think that the Tunsil trade was worth it. I personally think it was, but I wish we would have signed him the moment we got him instead of paying him a market resetting contract, making him one of the highest paid left tackles in the game. But I will say I'm always in favor of protecting your most valuable part of the team, which is obviously the quarterback. And who knows if the player we would have chosen in the draft would have become half the player like Tunsil, so who is arguably a top 3 left tackle in the league. So that's pretty much it. Well, there's one game left in the season, and I'm really looking forward to the head coach and GM hires. And I might make a video on that too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Stay safe, and see y'all next time.